Brothers and sisters in Christ, it's so good to see you again. I'm sorry I don't have the stand for this to really give a good presentation, but I'm back and I'm hoping that I could post more videos. And sadly, I have missed out on the opportunities because it's been so busy. If you haven't noticed, I'm kind of in an apartment. So it's really exciting because I've been hoping that this would happen. As you can probably guess, there have been a lot of changes, some obstacles, you could call them, or let me see if I can move this here. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Some obstacles, some setbacks, but you use those setbacks to learn. And that's a brilliant way of just growing, to discover yourself and discover like how to handle experiences like that. I'd actually like to give you little updates of what's been happening so that I can kind of get back into the flow of where we were when I was in California. California is now in the past. However, I do still feel a connection there with my relationships with my family, with some friends who sometimes get a hold of me, and I feel very grateful that I had those relationships, that I still have them. I'm hoping that I can return to them and just have that communal spirit continue. So all in all, it has been a very exciting change. It hasn't been easy, and no change is easy for anybody. But what I noticed about this change is that it's not only attributed to myself, but the culture. Here in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, if you don't know where Manitowoc, Wisconsin is, then just go to the map and you see where Lake Michigan is. And across there, of course, is Michigan and Wisconsin, or maybe you could say, yeah, on a map you would have it Wisconsin right here, and Michigan. You can see it on a map. It's pretty easy. Go to the internet. Everything's on the internet. So it's on the border of Lake Michigan, across from Michigan, and Illinois is below Wisconsin. Look it up. You'll learn your geography, and it's pretty simple. But Manitowoc is a small town, and it is very close knit. Almost everything is walking distance if you know where to live. Short drive, and you don't have to pay too much for gas. I simply nowadays I simply go back and forth from work to the apartment, and it's really a short drive, which is great. And the stores are close by. The emergency room, hospital. I've already had a few hospital visits. Or urgent care visits, which is quite surprising because I'm actually quite a healthy person. But that aside, Manitowoc has a very different culture from Los Angeles / Westminster, which is where I moved from. The thing is that when I came here, I was gung ho about remaining in my California state of mind of go getter, and I have all these plans which I don't want to express just yet because they might lose the power of I might lose the power of motivation. You really don't want to share too much with people who you on the internet, because then expectations become high. Then you actually lose that motivation because of those expectations. People are kind of watching you. That aside, we have there are plans in place which I'm hoping to perform soon, but it's going to take time. I've been here for only about 4 months, and I really haven't had the chance to look into these plans just yet because I'm building an income. I love my job. It's a challenge actually because it actually opens my eyes to what I need to improve on. Communication skills, being in a place where it's multitasking. You make sandwiches, then you clean dishes. You clean dishes, then you go to restocking. And it's a restaurant, a hustle. You got to keep on moving. You got to keep. There's always something to do. So it's a very different pace than I have been accustomed to in the monastery. The changes are quite challenging, but they're very necessary. I I love it honestly because it helps me discover just what needs improving, and I think that this challenge needs to be for everybody. It's a universal necessity, actually. Um, and these culture differences are actually quite beautiful. There's actually this moment when I was driving, and it's there. And what when I drive to work, there is this hill that I go down, and as I go down it, as I went down, I saw the whole valley. The city, the chapel just had two. The parish church had two towers just aligned with one another, and they were. It was like a crown. The two pillars of the church were standing in front of me, and I just thought how beautiful it was. The two pillars are the Eucharist and Mother Mary of the Catholic Church, the two pillars of the church that keep her standing. You cannot have one without the other. And that's what it reminded me of. It towered over like numerous trees, and the colors were just so beautiful. I think that spring is very near. Spring, we're probably in the beginning of spring, and these trees are just like bustled around the buildings, and it just gives it life and flourishing. And you can find this in California, but California has more like palm trees, and I'm more accustomed. I've already seen these palm trees. I've already seen these desert, California desert slash tropical landscapes. So so it was so enjoyable to see something so different yet so similar. You have a community mindset here. Like you know one person and they know everybody in whatever industry. I actually have a friend who is very wise and more experienced than I am. Thanks be to God, because I kind of need that. We all do. Never despise your elders, because they have wisdom that you do not. When you're my age, in your 30s, 20s, 30s, teenagers even, do not despise that wisdom. You need it. Now, she actually has connections to the school, to the political branch, the to leaders who are in government. She has connections to spiritual guides, pastors in the church. And this is from one person. This is how close knitted this community is that one person can have numerous resources and at their disposal, and networking with all the communities that surround the area. And that's what I really enjoy about Manitowoc. One of the reasons why I came back, because you have that access to networking in a close-knit area. While in California, you would probably have to travel to, say, San Diego, San Francisco. You would have to travel from Westminster to Alhambra to get the right community or resources. They're the actually in the hospital where I went and visited to get my surgery. I needed to travel from Nevada to what was it, Anaheim, and that area is beautiful, but it does take a bit to travel to network in California, which is fine if you're up for that. That's great. You can find different people with different mindsets and cultures. The Vietnamese culture, the you have also the Buddhists there. You have the numerous Christians. You have a variety of cultures in California, which is wonderful, especially the Hispanic community. They are just such beautiful and faithful Christians. It's amazing. But here it's similar. You have the Germans, you have the um, not necessarily Hispanic. There aren't too many Hispanics. It's primarily Europeans, and a history of, I do believe, Lebanese. Yes, Lebanese came. You have the Germans who came to Wisconsin. You have a variety of I think French speaking people. They kind of went along the lines of Illinois, Chicago, the Jesuits. You got a whole history of culture that came to Wisconsin and the Midwest, and they really have thrived. But I noticed these cultures here, and they're just as beautiful as the ones in California. They just have their own mindset, their own way of living, and it's a different kind of side hustle. It's a different kind of mindset, and both are necessary. You have the industrious big cities, which are necessary for businesses, for networking and reaching out to other states. While here in the Midwest and also the East Coast, you have farmers, you have horticulture, agriculture, and dairy farming. You have beef, you have all these people who are hardworking and down to earth, which is vital to thrive in a community like this because we depend on one another. Um, I'm hoping that the ministries that I have encountered and connected with, such as the jail ministry, the parish, really helped me to improve my communication skills, my engaging with other people who are different than me. And I don't think I've had that openness before, just to like, just to open up to you. I've been in a monastery. I have focused on religious discernment and haven't really been open-minded to getting involved in secular society. I've encountered so many people with different mindsets, with different experiences. They struggle with religion. They struggle with understanding why Christianity is the way it is. It's a paradox to them, and they're just so confused about it, which is fine. It's a journey. It's not an ideal mindset to have because there comes a lot of anger, anxiety, and also this resignation that there's usually no higher power that you have sometimes, or if there is a higher power, it's very temporal and concrete, and limited. But having those people around actually allows me to kind of understand where they're coming from when they share their experience with me, if they're open. Then you have these people who have found the truth, authentic truth in different religions, such as Buddhism, Methodists. You have Lutherans, who have quite a bit in common with Catholicism. You have, and they're all working together. They're all in a mutual understanding that, hey, we have a common goal to be good-willed and charitable to one another. to offer each other counsel and authentic kindness. So that's what I've been experiencing here in Manitowoc. I've had setbacks, a toxic relationship, which I thought I discerned very badly. And I wanted to have it work out but that required, according to the person, that I do all the changing. And if you encounter that kind of personality where they do not want to put the effort in, it's not worth staying with them. No matter how much you feel like you love them, the love there is not reciprocated the way it should be. And there is this selfishness that is portrayed in the other person, or maybe you have not discerned your own personality, your own identity to the full extent you can. And so you're missing out on that opportunity. Well, that kind of sums up the toxic relationship that I was in, with boundaries broken, boundaries tested, and I was not strong enough, so I have to improve. But that person is lacking the motivation to improve altogether. So I'm not going to compromise my faith. It's one thing to improve, it's another to compromise, which is different. And that's going to be in a different video. I think I need to make a different video of that. For now, this has been an update. I'm actually very relieved to be back on this channel. I hope that I can reach out to anyone who needs encouragement, who is experiencing some struggles of their own. I cannot say that I am able to understand what people are going through, because I am not in that situation. However, with my own improvements and discernments, I'm hoping to share and travel and journey with you in this change, because it's so beautiful, and it's so necessary that we encourage one another instead of putting each other down like so many people are doing nowadays. And that's what we need. We need to encourage one another. We need hope. We need this mindset of community and unity. I'll let you go, but I just wanted to thank you for tuning in for watching this video. If you did, if you feel so moved, then please pray for me. I really do appreciate it. And if you feel so moved, please share this video to anyone else who is interested in learning more about the toxic relationship that I've seen, the red flags that I've experienced. And it was just such an interesting experience that I think I need to share it as a charitable act, not necessarily in a judgmental act. I don't want to judge the person. He's going through his own things, and I do pray for him. But I'll let you go. I love you all, and I've learned so much, and I can't wait to share more. So God bless you. Thank you so much. Bye.